Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and you guessed it, it's Brick Hall O'Clock with another package from Bricklink.com. Right, let's dig into this. And before we start, I do have a confession to make in that I have already opened this package, and that was just to retrieve one of the two main reasons why I bought it. Because I really needed the medium Azure plates, the additional ones, to make the lake around the Pirate Roller Coaster a lot bigger than it was, if you remember. So I did a very quick order to get a few more, and that was this. But while I was there, I discovered that he also had a very vital piece for another build, and that's one that we got a lot of pieces for last time, and that is my brick-built whale. Yes, I'll let you into the secret that it is a whale. Most of you guessed it. A few people said shark, but it was a whale. So I'll be getting some very vital parts for the whale as well here. And then while I was there, wow, this store was incredibly good value. Loads of pieces, all used, all for about, well, 2 or 3p each. In fact, I did a quick calculation before starting filming this, and the average price for all these pieces was 4 pence each, or below 4 pence each. And there are quite good ones and some printed ones and all the rest of it in here as well. So that was a really, really good deal. So great prices meant that I bought, well, this much Lego when I'd only really gone in for about 2 or 3 things. Anyway, so the medium Azure plates have gone, but there's a lot to go through anyway. And I can already see some very interesting things, including the vital parts that I needed for the whale. And that is 2 of these dark blue pieces here, and they're very catchily titled Wedge 3.5 times 4 with stud notches. And yep, they look brand new, and that's because, well, they will be brand new because they were only in one set, and that is the El Fuego stunt plane from 2020. That's set 70429. So you would have thought that they would be a bit more common with more people buying that set, but really they're quite hard to get. And these are absolutely vital, as I say, for my whale build. So yeah, there are 2 of those. I found that when I was designing this whale, that basically a lot of the parts that you would like to use just aren't available in dark blue, the colour I chose. I was tossing up between dark bluish grey and dark blue. So you have to sort of make alternative arrangements, basically, and maybe exclude certain pieces that would have been a lot easier. And here's another very interesting piece here. Look at that. Have you seen that before? This is actually a Duplo piece, Duplo whale, and it was only in one set, 3609, Beach House from 2002. And I thought, well, I don't have one, so obviously I need one. And I didn't know whether it was going to be sort of the spirit of a whale underneath the sea, or maybe something very distant, so it was only a shadow or something like that, because it's a bit small for a whale. I suppose it's like a large dolphin size in sort of system scale, isn't it? Or maybe a small baby whale or something like that. But yeah, it's a nice piece from a bit of a weird set, actually. It seems to have a sort of canvas house and kind of canvas towel in it. But yeah, I'll be using that in the deep sea cabinet, but it's got a bit of a funny face actually on it, hasn't it there? But you'll have to give me ideas as to why it's trans light blue as it is. Maybe, like I say, just something in the distance. It does look rather good. So that was a great find. What else we got in here? We've got a couple of minifigures, of which here is one. Is the other one in this bag? No, it must be in the other bag, but he's just kind of a random crook. I like the ones with the crook costume underneath some normal clothing, so it looks like they're partially trying to hide it at least, so he can go in my fairground. Now here's another very interesting piece, and it's a trough. It is the right way up. See, there's some anti-studs there, but again, it's Duplo. So this is from all sorts of sets, including 9137 Farm Animals from 1998. And although it might be a bit big for a trough in system, it might actually be fine. I mean, it will connect to normal studs because it's just a sort of 2-to-1 ratio. It's sort of a big trough. I mean, I might try it down my farm, see if it looks good or too big. Maybe even put some 1x1 sort of translight blue to represent water or something like that, or maybe loads of food. It's definitely too high for pigs or sheep or anything, but the horses might be able to use it. But otherwise, I just bought it, you know, to see what it looked like, really. So maybe ideas for that as well, apart from farm use. Then I got absolutely loads of plates of different shapes. Now there's a few different reasons for these, but largely it's all undersea cabinet because it's so cheap. I mean, you know, these pieces at less than 4p each is just absolutely astounding. So I've got loads and loads of sand sort of coloured pieces because we need an absolute load of those to fill our cabinet of 20,000 bricks under the sea. Also got loads in light bluish grey and dark bluish grey for the rock sort of elements of that. So loads of them. Loads of modified ones with clips on, axes on, because I'm going to have to think of all different ways to kind of connect all of this sort of seaweed pieces and all the rest of that I've been buying to the wall. And they've all got different sort of connection points. So I think I need all sorts of different bricks to enable me to do that. Oh, look, there's the other minifigure of a crook. So he's still got his crook jacket on underneath there. Yeah, so more and more grey bricks for that. Now these white bits are for, oh, I've got a free little plate there, jolly good. These ones are for the underside of my whale. So when we get to the build of that, you'll see how they'll sort of piece together that. Oh, look, another free bit. Lovely, I love free pieces. Another thing under the sea will be these sort of medium azure kind of flower heads. And I got some of the dome sort of pieces to make them a bit bigger as well. I know these kind of look like flowers above water level on land sort of thing, but I reckon something maybe with tentacles coming out or something might be a bit exotic for underneath. And I bought these orange kind of dome pieces. You usually see those, I always think them as the cover on top of a cookie jar sort of thing when they're clear, but these ones are in orange, so I got a few of those to make an interesting plant as well, and some in green, and some of these sort of shoe pieces in green as well. Maybe that would be something on a plant, I don't know. In fact, that piece has been badly chewed, so I'll be binning that, I think. Other pieces from under the sea, I've got some of these sort of white spine pieces. They're sort of curved, which makes them a bit different, and they've got this sort of almost like a vertebrae type sort of bit coming out of it. And that's exactly how they were used in the Deep Sea Submarine set 60092, where they were the kind of backbone pieces of a long dead and decaying fish or God knows what underneath the sea. So I thought I'd buy a couple more of those because I do have that set put to one side for later use, but I thought I'd buy a couple more of those spine pieces to make more of a feature of that decaying fish for use in my cabinet as well. So that's two of those. Now for a while I've been collecting these purple corrugated pipes because I'm going to use them as some cargo for either on my train or nearby. But some other people suggested that I might use them for coral pieces because, you know, a fist of these sort of all at different levels might look like it was something organic. And I think that's a really good idea. So I'm going to keep buying them for a bit until I've got far too many and then I can use them in both places at once. Other things for under the sea that I haven't had before, at least, are these brown kind of claw pieces. And these were used on all sorts of different Chima sets, including 70144, Laval's Fire Lion. Nope, me either. But again, I thought these could all be used at different angles and maybe different heights to kind of look like another plant. They'll probably look better from this sort of an angle rather than sort of showing the hollow insides. But then again, maybe they're sort of underwater leaves or something like that. And they could even be going out sideways at that sort of angle. So I've got as many of those as the vendor had. Another thing that I bought all of, which was a bit more expensive, was these sort of dinosaur fin pieces that from the Mosasaurus 6721, which I've already got in my city at the moment. So I thought they looked a bit like big leaves. I mean, they look exactly like big leaves, really, don't they? So I've got sort of half a dozen of those as well. And that brings to mind something else with the Mosasaurus. I originally bought that to go in my deep sea cabinet, but I really do quite like that the little boy with the fishing rod has actually caught it in Brick Bay and dragged it to the surface. So maybe it needs to stay in Brick Nottingham. You'll have to let me know what you think, because, well, I've kind of got a lot of beasts and monsters for my undersea cabinet already. So maybe having one of them, even if it is one of the biggest and best in Brick Nottingham, maybe that's a good idea. These chests, or crates rather, I tend to buy whenever they're a good price because they're so useful. And here, again, they're just so very cheap. I've got some metallic spears. I think these were supposed to be the same colour, but they're slightly different. One will be flat silver and one will be metallic silver or something like that. But I didn't buy them for a specific use as such, so I don't mind the fact that they're different. In fact, there's a third look. Well, I think I was going to use these as an alternate sort of spear for people in my castle. Anyway, there's 4 there and 3 of them are the same colour, so that's not too bad. All these were very important. They're very sort of old now. And in, well, quite a few sets. In fact, that's the old one there, isn't it? But I do need some of these for my whale to sort of join the limbs together. But also I thought they'd be really useful for attaching any plant to, because with the other bit, when you've got a socket piece, which may not be in this this bag here, there we go, there's one, then really you can start positioning things at absolutely any angle at all, of course. So that'll be really useful under the sea. Another barrier for my fairground. One of these glass pieces that's on lots of sets, that's also on my double-ended sort of dome car of my white train. I tend to buy those when I see them as well. I should probably stop, because at one point I was thinking of having a whole train of those double-deckers, and now I'm not really going to do that, but still buying the pieces. Don't know why. Then we've got another little bag here of some smaller, presumably more special pieces, so I'll just tip those out as well. And we've got some clam shells. We've got some cupcake pieces, medium blue and yellowish orange, some water sort of spurts. Can't remember where I got those. Maybe they're for under the sea as well, plants. Oh, and this is very rare. Though I did get given one on a recent subscriber haul, but here's another one. And they're kind of ornamental decorative fish. They're kind of sort of very dragony, and that's because they came from all the really old Ninja range back in 1998. That was before Ninjago was even a thing, including 6093, Flying Ninja Fortress, where they're on the roof as decor. So yeah, I made this order before that one was gifted to me, but I was sort of thinking of using it in a fountain or something like that. So now I've got more than one to use, so that's good. Lots of hinge pieces, a few of these sort of bulb pieces that I should be able to use under the sea as well. And I think that might be everything of interest in that first bag. Oh, and a gun. That must be for the SSP, presumably. So then another great big bag here. Oh, I'm just going to tip out. Well, it's going to be really hard to find all the interesting pieces in this, presumably, but we'll give it a good go. So a lot more of those chests. My word, that's dirty. That's almost up there for Dirtiest Piece Award. I don't know if you can see in that corner, but that's some serious dirty fluff type stuff going on there. They'll all get washed. This is another sand purple dish. Do you remember, was it last time or the time before we got a sand purple dish? Well, here's another. So now we've got 2. Fantastic. Couple more sort of dinosaur pieces, but I'm going to use them as sort of coral plants under the sea in sand blue. So they look really nice. Maybe put something very interesting on the end, like one of these or something, in a brighter colour. Probably not the dark blue, but nonetheless. Yeah, more dark blue pieces for similar use. Then, now this is quite interesting. This is a 2-bladed propeller, as you can probably see, but there should be another one in here as well. Yep, there it is. And they kind of lock together to make a 4-bladed one. And they've got the Technic sort of cross axle hole in the middle, so that keeps them at the right angle. And I just thought that I would try this as an alternative for my Zeppelin train, just for the photographs, if I'm going to do it as a Lego idea submission, because, well, it's just got one more blade, hasn't it? And that was suggested by somebody, so I thought I would give that a try since I saw them and they were so cheap, so that's very good as well. So that's been in all sorts of sets, including the Rescue Cruiser 6473 from 1998, which is quite an interesting looking set, I think you'll agree. Then we've got another one of the barriers that I should be able to fix the... Golly, that is quite bad. Should be able to fix the stickers on using my patented hot tea technique. But yeah, this is the one that I've been buying from a lot of different hauls, which is the one from the Prisoner Transport 7286. So that is good to have. Now I've got quite a few SSP parts, of which this is one from the Super Cycle Chase 70808. There should be, oh, there's a little baggie, not so interesting though. There should also be, there we go, the bigger end sticker. I'm just using these for the stickers really, so I can decorate future SSP builds with their iconography. So I get them whenever I see them really. That one's a bit damaged, but if I sort of cut out the important bit, I should be able to reuse that. And then I think I've even got some smaller ones as well somewhere else. Oh, there's another whale part, so that's good to have. Train end parts, train ladder parts. Oh, now these are quite interesting. They're just sort of wedge pieces, but they've got some sort of rock outline put into them. But more interestingly than that, they're done in transmedium blue. And transmedium blue fluoresces under UV light, so I think they could look really interesting. So I don't know how to use them yet. Maybe they're crystals under the sea or part of a plant or something. They've only been part of 2 sets, including 9445, Fang Spire Truck Ambush from Ninjago in 2012, where they're on the bike. But you can see under UV light, they glow a treat. So I think they'll be really useful on my undersea cabinet, 20,000 bricks under the sea, on the bottom level, where their glowing will be best utilised. Yeah, they look really good. Cool. Right, what else have we got in here? Lots more plant pieces here. Lots more grey bricks and so on. Glitter dishes and bright dishes as well for undersea stuff. Even got a white one there. I don't think that's glow in the dark. That's interesting. Got a few of the same corrugated piece but in dark turquoise. So that'll be another bit of coral, maybe with something sprouting out the top. You never know really what you could kind of attach or something like that. Could be right wacky really. Some of the yellow dinosaur tail ends. We've got these. Now I think I've had these before. These are the great big sort of claw pieces, or well, they've been used as all sorts of things really in sets like 70145, Mauler's Ice Mammoth Stomper, where they've been used as tusks or ribs or even the tail on that. This doesn't fluoresce, but it is a very interesting shape for that very bottom level. I think you'll agree. So yeah, very good. Then we've got more of the sort of wing pieces and trans neon orange that will go under the sea. So quite nice dome piece in clear. Now this is a piece that I'll definitely be able to use under the sea, in that it's got dials and so on. I might have to move it off this piece if it's not useful here, but it's got kind of an oxygen level percentage or something like that. So that's really nice. That's from that deep sea submarine set 60092 as well, but I like that. And here's a much older stickered panel piece. Golly, that's filthy, isn't it? If that doesn't clean up, I'll definitely be able to move it, I'm sure. But it shows a map with lots of sharks kind of circling around near that underwater skeleton. It is actually a very old set, in that it's the Diving Expedition Explorer 6560 from 1997. But obviously these themes kind of repeat over time in LEGO, so I'll probably use this sticker to refer to my sort of new, more modern skeleton. But that will probably need moving anyway, so I can use it probably inside an underwater station. That's interesting. A nice flame piece in purple. That'll be really nice under the sea, and that's from one of my absolute favourite sets that my beloved Sharkinator is from, the 70172 Antimatter's Portal Hideout in 2015. I don't have that set, it's just that I really coveted it because of the dish, which I now have, and the Sharkinator, which I now have, due to the generosity of my subscribers. So absolutely fantastic. Goal achieved. We've got croissant, we've got kind of claw pieces, we've got all sorts in here. But I'm trying to find if there's anything important I've missed. White telephone. These are just to hold more plants on the surface of the rocks and so on. Oh, and here is another one of those alien eggs, but this time it's in trans neon yellow, and this is actually unique to only one set, 70707, which is the CLS-89 Eradicator mech from Galaxy Squad, and what a mech he is as well. It looks very mean indeed. And then this piece is part of the kind of behind abdomen of 2 kind of Galaxy Squad bug type creatures. So that's really nice to have that as well. Oh, and look, I've got 2 of them. So that's really nice as well. Another peer through here. Lots of things like harpoon guns in yellow or in flat silver. So that's really nice, just to give to all of my divers, because I seem to have an absolute load of divers, which is probably a good idea to do. But I need to have them all with enough self-defense, because to be honest, the amount of beasties that I've got under the sea all ready to go already would be, well, you wouldn't get me swimming in it, let's put it that way. So there's another SSP piece, and I'm sure there's a couple more printed pieces in here, but quite frankly, I can't find them. Oh well, all in all, a fantastic, bulky and cheap haul. Well, a very good haul, I think you'll agree. I've got an absolute mountain of very dirty Lego to clean now. Some interesting panels, SSP pieces, a couple more things I found. One of those red and white sort of printed trans clear panels from an old ambulance like in 6680 from 1981, which is very nice to have. I've got a few of those, so ultimately I'll be able to build something a lot bigger with a lot of those. So that's why I'm collecting those. And then this was one of the stickered pieces I wanted to find that I could use under the sea for, well, a repair bay probably, because it says repair bay with a nice spanner on there, and that's from 7709 Sente Fortress, which is an Exoforce set from 2006, which is a pretty cool set actually. So yeah, that's really nice to have as well. I might look out for a few more of those. Yeah, so very good haul. Loads and loads of cheap pieces, which I'm very glad to have. The trough's very interesting. The Duplo whale is very interesting. But the most important pieces were the ones that I've already used, and these two dark blue ones for my whale. So I'm really hoping to do that build very soon. Apart from I do think I need a few more pieces in another order. But as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome Lego videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And if you want to send something to the channel, you can to this address. Should have that for a few months more at least, so get on with doing that if you want to. I think I've got a couple already lined up for either a February or early March sort of subscriber haul, depending on when other ones come in. But until then, I think we'll be doing another mock build on Friday, back to the supermarket on Monday, and, well, another haul next Wednesday. So until all of that, see you! Ooh. Yeah, that's my attempt on whale noises.